going to move to clause by clause consideration of the bill. And I want to say at the outset that as a matter of practice, the committee generally prefers to dedicate a full meeting to clause by clause consideration of bills. In this instance, however, the circumstances are special, and steering committee has recommended that we proceed with clause by clause. We don't believe this will set a precedent, given that the committee has already studied this bill and reviewed a previous version of Bill S-228, Bill S-250 during the last Parliament. Senator Batters raised this issue, and we had a good discussion. So unless there's any objection, we're now going to move to clause by clause. I see none, so we'll move as follows. Since it's been a while since we've conducted a clause by clause, I'd like to remind senators of a number of points. First, if at any point a senator is not clear where we are in the process, please ask for clarification. I want to ensure that at all times we have the same understanding of where we're at in the process. Second, in terms of the mechanics of the process, when more than one amendment is proposed to be moved in a clause, amendments should be proposed in the order of the lines of the clause. Third, if a senator is opposed to an entire clause, the proper process is not to move a motion to delete the entire clause, but rather to vote against the clause as standing as part of the bill. 4, some amendments that are moved may have consequential effect on other parts of the bill. It is therefore useful to this process if a senator moving an amendment identified to the committee other clauses in the bill where this amendment could have an effect. Otherwise, it would be very difficult for the members of the committee to remain consistent in their decision-making. 5, because no notice is required to move amendments, there can, of course, have been no preliminary analysis of the amendments to establish which one or ones may be of consequence to others and which may be contradictory. 6, if committee members ever have a question about the process or about the propriety of anything occurring, they can certainly raise a point of order. As chair, I will listen to the argument, decide when there has been a sufficient discussion of a matter or order, and make a ruling. 7, the committee is the ultimate master of its business within the bounds established by the Senate, and a ruling can be appealed to the full committee by asking whether the ruling shall be sustained. 8, I wish to remind honourable senators that if there is ever any uncertainty as to the results of a voice vote or a show of hands, the most effective route is to request a roll call vote, which obviously provides unambiguous results. Finally, senators are aware that any tied vote negates the motion in question. Are there any questions about what I've just said in the previous 9 points? No, if not, we can now proceed. Senators, we're now moving to clause by clause on S-28. Is it agreed that the committee proceed with clause by clause? Agreed. Shall the title stand postponed? Agreed. Shall the preamble stand postponed? Agreed. Shall clause 1 carry? Agreed. That's everything, that's right. Preamble carry? Agreed. Shall the title carry? Agreed. Shall the bill carry? Does the committee wish to consider on division? On division. Okay. Does the committee wish to consider pending observations to the report? Senator Pate?
I'm sorry, I thought of it because of these last witnesses, that something around the need for education, better education processes for the medical profession and through the colleges of physicians and surgeons, but I did not work on wording, so I'm at the mercy of the committee if that's, I think something to that effect would be helpful, given the evidence we heard.
Senator Batters?
One option is to, instead of having it be an observation to this committee's report, it could be just simply noted in someone's speech, or even a question if a senator doesn't want to make maybe an entire speech, but Senator Boyer no doubt is going to make a speech, then perhaps someone wanting to raise that issue could bring it up in debate and ask a question about that, or make a comment asking for Senator Boyer or whoever else. I'm sure the critic of the bill, I think, is Senator David Wells, could ask. That could be part of it too. It doesn't have to necessarily be an observation to be part of the proceedings.
Do you have any further comments, Senator Page?
No, I didn't prepare it in advance, so I accept that.
Okay, so we won't have any amendments or any observations, pardon me. Is it agreed that I report this bill to the Senate in both official languages?
Agreed.
This is the The steering committee has met, and I would like to put on the table now the idea that I present a general order of reference for this committee at the very next sitting of soon, I guess, the first available opportunity. And do you want to see this, or do you want me to read it? It's a standard. I would move that the Standing Committee on Legal and Constitutional Affairs, in accordance with Rule 12-7, subsection 9, be authorized to examine and report on such issues as may arise from time to time relating to legal and constitutional matters generally, and that the committee submit its final report to the Senate no later than September the 3rd, 2029. Is everybody in agreement with that? Okay.
Sure. Maybe you could just explain a little bit why we would do such a general order of reference. It's not something that the legal committee usually does, usually because we don't have time to do such things.
Well, I think it's in recognition that there may be issues that will come up that deserve study. I think Senator Batters, you mentioned one, the report of the elections officer. And in times past, those reports have been dealt with in the committee by calling the Chief Electoral Officer of Canada to comment on reports about previous elections. It's an example. It gives the committee a wide berth to examine issues. Of course, it would have to be agreement by steering and the whole committee on anything. Okay. Okay.
You want someone to move that, or just,
I didn't hear you.
want someone to move that we that our committee accepts that?
That'd be really nice if you moved that.
Yes, I will move that. Thank you.
Moved by Senator Batters that this motion that I discussed be agreed upon by all of our members, and I take action on that motion. Agreed. Thank you. Have you sent a memo to? Senators, I think that brings to a close what we've had intended to do today. I believe we know that we want to discuss future business potential studies that the committee may undertake, but we haven't taken any action on that pending any issues that the Senate members of this committee wish to put forward as studies. So we're not in a position to really have a discussion about that today. So if that's the case, then I'm going to close the meeting. Oh, Senator Miville-Deschênes.
Really briefly, I want to say that I've sent to all your offices 2 tables that I've done for the study of S-229, which is supposed to start next week. One on the changes in the bill, I'll explain, and another one on the international comparison between countries. So you will have that in your box this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I have a question regarding the process. Shouldn't those documents be sent through the clerk of this committee?
The clerk will resend them. I think they've been sent. Maybe, oh, there's just a steering? Oh. See?
Yes.
The clerk advises that he had sent some of these in the past, but he's going to resend them all today to everyone. Okay? So the meeting is adjourned.